This is Bob Gray speaking at the corners of Church and Fulton Street in New York City, just opposite where the World Trade Center was. This evening we have an honored guest with us, Alex Lutzke, emergency medical technician at New York Fire Department. We're going to be asking him some questions about his experiences that day. Good evening, Alex.
Hi, how you doing, Bob?
We're doing well, and I want to thank you for coming and being with us. We appreciate that.
Very well.
In our location here, we are standing to the west of Brooklyn Bridge, and just a little to the west of Trinity Church. I understand that you were located on the site during the World Trade Center catastrophe, the terrorist attack. We wanted to ask you some questions about that, and particularly wanted to know how it came that you happened to be one of the first individuals to be here at the World Trade Center for that incident.
Very well. I was with my partner, Eric Ramos, and we had some small talk in the ambulance, and around 8:46, I noticed a plane, well, it was more like 8:45, a plane traveling very low. Before me, very clearly, was the World Trade Center. We were near the Brooklyn Bridge, which is a few blocks away from where we're standing right now. And I exclaimed to EMT Ramos, I said, the plane is very low, it's going to hit. It's going to hit, and it slammed then right into the North Tower and exploded.
Your immediate reaction when you saw that incident take place was to do what?
My immediate reaction was to radio a signal in and let them know that what we had witnessed so that the emergency response system could be activated.
So your ambulance was near the Brooklyn Bridge, facing the World Trade Center, and you were able to come right down into this area. How long did that take you to get from where you were to the World Trade Center?
30 to 40 seconds.
That's amazing, Alex. And you actually saw the plane come in and hit the building.
Correct.
What was the response, or didn't you even have a response from those folks back at the radio headquarters where you were radioing to?
The response was, what?
They couldn't believe you, could they?
No.
That's amazing.
No, it was...
I don't think anybody could have believed that kind of a report.
Command.
Now, when you arrived at the scene, could you describe what you saw as you approached the corner that you parked at, which is right over here at the corner of Fulton and Church by the edge of Trinity Church graveyard?
Okay, right here at the corner, my partner Eric Ramos and I, we pulled here. I was being the first unit at the scene, I was the communications officer and he was the triage officer, and so we tried to assume those roles. It was rather difficult to do that because we were in the middle of what was obviously at this point a disaster. To our right, as we were facing World Trade Center 5, was part of the landing gear of the plane, and there was a lot of frantic movement of people down below where we were at. Within seconds to a minute or so later, there was a wave of people that came rushing out
of this building right here.
Thousands of people.
That's amazing.
When I witnessed it, I thought it was an accident.
Yes.
The second explosion, although we didn't have much time to really think, I sensed and felt that we were probably at war.
So you thought this could possibly be an attack on America at that time, not just airplanes, but something more dramatic,
it could have been a bomb, or missile or something. Yeah.
That's a frightening thought in itself. Thank you. Now, just to get a sense of this, I understand you were on that site, on the other side of where we are standing, on the other side of the center, when the second explosion took place. Could you describe what your experience was when that explosion took place?
When that explosion took place, I didn't know that it was the second plane. I was way too close to the building to have seen a plane. What I witnessed was a huge explosion, the sound, the debris that was flung all around, and everybody running for their lives, going north up on West.
And I understand you were located just south of where we're standing. My concern at this point is that the South Tower is going to come down first. What happened as that building began to crumble? What was your immediate sense of awareness, and how did you react to it?
Well, first I felt the ground, the air rumble. It was like an eruption, and I heard a lot of people screaming and starting to run. Yeah, as I looked up, I saw the top of the South Tower begin to collapse, and then it started to just come down like that.
Yes.
I knew that I had made it without injury or losing my life on West Street. I really didn't believe that I was ever going to make this. I didn't think there was a way to outrun it. I didn't think there was a way that I was going to survive this one. I made, I believe, a little attempt and sprinted a little bit, but by that time it came down.
The cloud of dust enveloped you.
Well, it totally went black. The sound was it was the loudest sound I could ever have imagined. It was deafening. It was like being in a volcanic eruption. I failed to find words to best describe it, but it was the most incredibly powerful experience in magnitude that I've ever been in. And it was totally black. I couldn't see anything, and I couldn't breathe. I was unable to breathe. The air was filled with just particulate matter. There was a lot of air pressure as well, and
so basically, when that started coming down and filling this air with all this cement dust, you were impacted by this, the pressure, the sound, the noise, and you moved a distance from where you had been at the block just south of this. I saw a picture that you were pointing out to me of this incredible cloud as it spread. I realized that this spread more than just a few feet away from the building, but rather several blocks away.
Oh, yeah.
You were here within a block or so of the actual building, and you made it, I understand, to just a short distance, actually almost by where Trinity Church is, looking in that direction, on the other side of the Millennium Hilton. In the dark, you couldn't see where you were going, but you managed to bump into. Could you describe what happened when you actually finally reached out and were able to touch something?
Well, as I was making helpless motions about me, trying to feel around me, I thought I should have been crushed by then, but I was not. As I said, I wasn't able to breathe, but I was trying to feel around me, and I was walking towards a direction that I didn't know what the direction was. Later, I found out that that's the direction I ended up, and there was something that I felt. I wasn't sure what it was, because there was so much particulate matter. Even the things that you touched were not definitive as to what they were, you know. And so I started hitting it with my radio, and when I did, I felt it give way, and I heard a faint sound. Later, I realized that it was the glass of a van, the side panel glass of a van. I
think it would be helpful for us to get some idea of what happened. When you came out of the hospital, I understand you came back again toward World Trade 5. Can you tell us what happened after that?
Okay, I met up with a firefighter and a police officer, and we all three of us were pretty much looking for our commands and our people, and to do our job. And we kind of made a pact between us that we were going to stick together, because everything looked pretty chaotic, and so we did that, and we started looking. And I did meet up with some of the people from my battalion, but a lot of others were missing, and my partner was still missing, and I was coming back to this area here that you see.
Yes.
And we ended up right here at, around Church and Day, a little lower. I noticed my ambulance that was parked there earlier was in flames, and then the three of us together heard that same rumble, that same
North Tower was now coming down.
The North Tower was now coming down. We did not even turn around. We did not look. We ran as fast as we could.
Which direction?
And we went up Day Street. And when you pass Broadway, which is the next block, it turns into John.
Yes.
It turns into John Street. And we
just down this street. You turn slightly right, is it?
That's correct, and that's John Street.
Down John Street.
And there are a couple of stores up. There was a chocolate, an old-fashioned chocolate shop that has chocolates in jars and so forth.
Sounds like a good place to land if you're hiding.
we all ran in there, and as we slammed the door shut, it was almost hard to shut it with the pressure. Everything went totally black.